Hey guys, so I've been seeing this hashtag around lately. One of the YouTubers I've been watching a lot lately is Sticks Texan Hammer 666. He did a few videos on this topic, and that is the hashtag Walk Away. Now, basically, what I've got from this is it's basically people who have just become, quite frankly, they become disillusioned. They're sick and tired of all the shit that's going on with the Democratic Party. They're tired of the politics surrounding the Democratic Party, and they've just become fed up with it, and they're leaving it in droves. Hashtag, or hence hence the hashtag walk away. Um, and honestly, I'm not really too upset by this. I mean, people are sick and tired. I mean, they're sick and tired of being talked down to by the Democratic Party. They're sick and tired of being called, people, they're sick and tired of simply asking questions and questioning things, questioning the logic. Because whenever they question the logic, whenever they just ask questions, they're called bigots. They're tired of being called bigots. They're tired of being called sexist, homophobic, racist. They're sick and tired of being told that they're fucking privileged and stuff like that. And I'm sure it's not just that, but like it's just the Democratic Party is just it's a mess. It's clearly a mess. Um, I know Sticks also talked about this. He talked about how the Democratic Party kind of just needs to collapse. It needs to collapse, and then once it has completely collapsed, it needs to figure out a way to rebuild itself and come back better than ever if it could even do that at this point. Because it's kind of funny because the left has literally become everything that they criticized the religious right for back in the day, and rightly so. I mean, they had a right to criticize the right back in the day, but it's literally become everything that it hated, that it didn't want to stand for. Okay, because it was all the Democratic Party, the left. It was always about being progressive and being open-minded and tolerant, stuff like that. But they've probably become the most intolerant, bigoted, quite frankly, and just illogical party that there is. Um, and it's like a lot of people, not everyone, but like I'd say a lot of people that were liberals back in like the 80s, 90s, even early 2000s, um, they would probably be considered like conservatives nowadays, or even like alt right or something. Which a lot of them are more like just classical liberals and stuff like that. I mean, I've seen so many. I've watched a few YouTubers who are more left leaning than anything. Who would be like again the classical liberal or whatever, but they're labeled as like alt right or just whatever other term, conservative, right wing extremists, whatever. Um, and they throw out all their usual buzzwords and everything, and it's just ridiculous. So I mean, it's no wonder that people are leaving the Democratic Party, leaving liberalism in general in droves. It's fun. I was watching this one video earlier today. I can remember the name of the YouTube channel. It's not a big channel or anything, but it was this woman talking about how for the longest time she has been a liberal. She was even a feminist. I don't know if she's still a feminist now, but she was a Democrat. She was a liberal. She took part in a lot of organizations and everything. Um, and she talked about how when Trump was elected, rather than just freaking out about it and saying that half America was racist for voting for Trump and Trump winning and everything, she actually looked into why it is that Trump won. And she started doing research and asking questions and everything. And because of that, a lot of the friends that she had kind of just threw her out, just kind of tossed her out and everything. And they probably labeled her as probably like an alt-righter too, when she wasn't. And she even talked about how she would even hesitate to call herself a liberal now. So, yeah, it's just I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that more and more people are coming disillusioned with the Democratic Party, and I think more and more people should. I'm not saying like leave the Democratic Party and go to the Republican Party, because I mean I think the Republican Party, of course, isn't perfect either by any means. Honestly, I would just encourage more people to look into like independent stuff and stuff like that. More libertarian type things. That's what I would describe myself as. More like libertarian, probably independent stuff like that. because I have, I'm kind of just a blend of things. Like I lean left on some things, I lean right on other things. Um, but yeah, so I myself haven't really hashtag walked away. Like I, I think I probably walked away a while ago. If I even really, I was never really, I never really would have considered myself a Democrat per se. Like maybe in like my high school days and maybe very early college days, I probably would have leaned more toward being a Democrat than anything. Um, but around the time of the 2016 election, around the time Donald Trump won, I kind of changed my beliefs a little bit because you know because it's kind of like one of those. I'm getting way off the rails here, but like um people talk about how they used to be SJWs and everything, and I was never an SJW per se, even back then. But I was definitely leaning towards that mindset of like if you were like pro life or if you were like anti gay marriage or whatever, then you were like just a bigot or whatever. Which nowadays I don't really think that way. I mean, if you're pro life or if you just personally don't believe in gay marriage, like it's whatever to me. I mean, I'm still me personally, I'm still like pro choice and pro gay marriage, and I lean left more towards on marijuana and stuff like that. But um, nowadays I don't really just automatically think, well, they're just a bigot. I just think, oh, whatever, they've got their own views, whatever. But um, no, I'm not surprised by this at all. I mean, what isn't it like? There was like a poll at a college or something. It's like the three people that like students picked or whoever picked the three. I know Styx also did a video on this as well. I've been watching a lot of Styx lately, if you couldn't tell. But like the three people for the Democratic nomination in 2020 was number one. At number one was Hillary Clinton, which is a big shock. And that's the joke. If Hillary Clinton, I don't think she will, but if she tries to run, she will lose. Pigs will fly before she gets in and actually wins the thing. No, it kind of be funny if she did like win the nomination, go against Trump again, and then lose again. Oh, that would be entertaining. Like half of me actually hope she does get in and run again, just so I could see her lose again. But no, Hillary was like one. I think number two was like Bernie Sanders, which I don't think Bernie can even run at this point because I know they changed some things with the DNC or whatever. Um, he's an independent. Like I know he was an independent before. He switched to Democratic for the run. He lost and kind of sold out, in my opinion. That's another can of worms. But he's now independent again. So I mean, he can't run. And by the time he would be running, he'd be like 78 years old. He'd be pushing 80, you know. And then number three was Joe Biden. Really? Creepy Joe Biden? I don't. I think no. I think that they would all. I mean, if Bernie actually did run, and he might actually stand a chance, in my opinion. But if Hillary ran or if Joe Biden ran, I think that Trump would steamroll them. To be really honest. But yeah, I mean, that's the three people that most people would want for the Democratic, and it's a joke. I mean, it's just a joke. They need newer, better people, um, and yeah. So I mean, it's crazy, just crazy the shift. Just the shift. It's weird because it's like I said earlier, it's like the left was always the side that was all about logical, thinking logically and being open-minded and stuff like that. But now they're completely the opposite. They're closed-minded. They do not think logically, and anyone who disagrees is automatically labeled a bigot. And I want to make it clear that of course I don't mean every single person who would consider themselves a Democrat or a liberal. I'm not trying to say everyone, okay, but I'd say a good number in the Democratic Party, or a good number who are still consider themselves to be full-on liberals today, would fall in that category. So it's just no surprise that this whole walk-away thing has started. But I mean, you know, like I said, I don't think either party is perfect, but I think the Democratic Party certainly has more problems at this point because at this point you gotta choose between the lesser of two evils, okay? Or you gotta identify the greater of two evils and the lesser of two evils. Like 5, 6 years ago, the greater of two evils was probably the right, you know, the religious right. But today, it's probably the left, to me at least. But then again, I don't consider myself Democrat or Republican. So it's whatever to me. I don't really have a dog in the fight. I just go with whichever one sounds less insane. But anyways, um, that's pretty much it for this one. And just let me know what you guys think about this whole walk away thing. But yeah, that's it for this one, and I'll talk to you guys later. So peace and have a good day.